Welcome back to Inspiring Builds. I'm Dan, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to build small wooden Christmas trees without using a brad nailer, nails, or wood filler. These make excellent gifts with Christmas around the corner. I will link my previous video at the end to show you how wooden Christmas trees can make you an extra $1,000 to $2,000 or more this holiday season. I used pine lumber that I already had on hand from old bed slats. I ripped down the rounded edge and then set my table saw at 1 inch and ripped 1 inch wide strips for the build. On larger trees I use a miter saw, but with the small cuts I will show you what I found to be the best technique using a table saw. This precision miter gauge is one of my favorite upgrades to the table saw, and I will provide a link to it in the description below. I adjusted the fence to allow clearance for the blade cutting at an angle and can always rely on this miter gauge for fast, repeatable, accurate cuts. Unlike some videos I've seen with multiple different angles that can be confusing, I'm going to keep this simple and make all cuts at 30 degrees so you can set the saw to 30 degrees and leave it there. When making cross cuts, a stop block is perfect for accuracy and safety. This stop block is 4 inches wide that provides plenty of clearance from the fence and end of the workpiece to avoid any kickback. It can easily be clamped to the fence while being able to use the fence's scale to set the needed measurement, with it being easy to add around 4 inches to any needed cut. For this build, each tree needs 6 2¼ inch pieces and 2 3¼ inch pieces. Before making your cuts, raise the blade about 1/8 inch above the material. Grab your PPE. Yes, I added an E to the end, and yes, a pencil is also used for safety here. Cut the end of the material, as all cuts will be at 30 degrees, and the eraser is what is used on the pencil to move the cut sections away from the blade. After making each cut, flip the material over as shown and butt it against the stop block. It should be nice and flush and will yield safe, accurate cuts every time. Using this technique can knock out a single tree in no time flat. Simply cut the first 6 pieces at 2¼ inches. Note, the measurement on the saw's fence scale is at 6 inches, as 4 inches is added for the stop block and the 30-degree angle adds another 1/4 inch. Move the fence over a 1/2 inch for the last 2 cuts to 6½ inches to give us 2 3/4 inch pieces. The measurement is taken from the long end of each piece. I'm building 10 Christmas trees, and to speed up the process I cut all of the same size pieces at once. For example, these 12 pieces are all of the 2 1/4 inch sections for 2 trees. This process can help you build dozens of trees in a single day. I already built one tree to determine the needed measurements, and here is all the material for the other 9 ready for quick assembly. Before starting, find a straight edge and clamp it to the edge of the workbench. I used a piece of plywood, but you can use a variety of materials such as steel or even a level. For assembly, I use Titebond wood glue, and the secret sauce for not using nails or wood filler is CA glue and adhesive that I will also put in the link in the description below. I see a lot of people struggling to get a nice tight joint when attempting to assemble the base and top sections. My technique is to take the 2 3/4 inch base and set it flush against the straight edge. Do a dry fit with the 2 1/4 inch sections to make up the lower limbs of the tree. Apply wood glue on each side of the base and leave a section to apply CA glue. Spray adhesive to the lower limbs and secure them to the base. Hold them for a few seconds. The adhesive and CA glue combo gives a quick bond, and the wood glue gives a long-term, stronger bond. Set the base aside. Grab a 2 1/4 inch section, putting it flush against the straight edge, and the last 2 3/4 inch section for the top of the tree. Do a dry fit and bond the 2 pieces together the same way we did the base. Now the top and bottom sections are assembled. Place the base back against the straight edge and do a dry test fit. Once everything is aligned, assemble 2 1/4 inch midsections by applying wood glue and CA glue on each side of the base and adhesive on the midsections. You have the technique now. Apply wood glue and CA glue on each side of the midsections and adhesive on the top section. Use the last 2 1/4 inch section for the base. Apply wood glue and CA glue and then set the base against the straight edge. Spray adhesive to the bottom of the tree, align it to the base and hold it for a few seconds. One tree is down, but stay until the end as I have a special guest in the shop today. I want to take the time to thank you if you made it this far in the video. I'm considering putting together build plans to go with my videos in 2024. Let me know in the comments if I should or if you would have any interest. Earlier I showed cutting all of the same sections at once speeds up the process, and the same applies with assembly. Building all of the bases, all of the tops, putting the midsections on, putting the top of the tree on, and lastly putting on the bases makes quick work, and you will be able to batch out dozens of these trees a day. My special guest worked hard in the shop today building a wooden basketball hoop, a special Christmas gift out of scrap lumber for his cousin, and helped knock out the light sanding of the Christmas trees. I really appreciate you watching. If you want to make extra cash for the holiday season, I queued up that video next along with others that you may like as well. Nice work, man.
Thank you.
Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I release new videos.